Good morning to you all and namaskar. Some of you have asked a question. How do you pick your stocks? What is your stock picking strategy? So, I will deal with it a little. It's not possible to deal with it completely, but I will give you all the important points. You see, I am a retired young old man. 24 hours of each day are at my disposal. Now, which means 24 into 7 into 365. So many hours are at my disposal every year, theoretically, but not practically, not in reality. Reason is, I have just now completed my second book, a modern interpretation of Bhagavad Gita. Now I have to give it for pagination, printing and publishing. Then maybe dispatching to some libraries and VIPs and then putting it on Amazon.in. And such other works are there. Once all those are completed, I will go for my third book, I think. See, the mood now is that. Then, of course, I have demolished my earlier house and we are constructing a new house there. You see, I am spending my time and money on all these things. Good amount of time, good amount of money, both. Now, let us come back to our stock picking strategy. Usually, I start picking my stocks at the beginning of quarterly results season. Now, as you all know, Q2 results season will be on somewhere from October 15th, something like that. So, I monitor the results published on BSE, sometimes on NSE, but generally on BSE. Now, from there only I pick out the companies which I want to examine. Now, how do I select the companies? See, sometimes several companies are coming up on the same day. How do I pick up? I don't pick up all companies and examine them. It is just not possible. I pick those companies where the sales and profits are both growing very well in the last 5 quarters. That is possible. Sales should be growing reasonably, profit should be going well. Profit should be going well means profit to sales margin must be good. You see, the margin is 5% of sales or something like that. I don't pick up those things. Because for them to come to a good position in profits, it will take a long time. I want a margin of at least 25%. That's the margin I set for my scripts. So, profits to sales margin should be good. The third criterion is liquidity in the script must be reasonably good. I don't want to get trapped in illiquid shares. So it should be somewhere around 1 lakh or something like that, liquidity, daily sales. So this is my initial checklist for examining, for selecting, for examining further. Then I transfer the results to Excel sheet. In the Excel sheet, I examine the sales growth with reference to percentage. I work out the percentages on Excel sheet and then examine for the last 5 quarters first. And also for the last 5 years, whether the company has been performing reasonably well in the last 5 years. If it was not performing well in 1 or 2 years, why? Has it picked up in the last 2-3 years at least? So I want the result should be good at least in the last 3 years, but I check for the last 5 years. It's available. See, it is available in Money Control, it is available in Screener.in, etc. So after I see the sales growth in the last 5 quarters and in the last 5 years, then I go to the profit growth. See, all these things I am working out on Excel sheet only. The profit margin should have been good, then only it has come into my Excel sheet. Otherwise, it goes. Now, the profit growth, profit margin may be 25% or 30%. But how was the profit growth in the last 5 quarters and then 5 years? That also I check up. Sales and profits, if they are both growing healthily, even then companies fail on the price front. So I check up the price performance also, whether the price is growing steadily or sluggish or going down. See, this is also one of the points you have to check. Then promoter shareholding. Promoter shareholding should be good. It should be above 50%. Some of them are over 75% also. But 50% is reasonably good. And pledging of shares. If the promoters have pledged a major part of their shares, I won't touch such companies. They are suspect. So promoter shareholding should be good. Pledging should not be there, or it should be very limited. Then, of course, apart from promoter shareholding, I will also check FII and DII shareholding and public shareholding. Public shareholding should not be too less. FII and DII shareholding must be there, at least to some extent, but public shareholding also must be at least 25% like that. Then, I see leverage, debt. Whether the debt is rising or coming down, or they are likely to go for further debt, and so on. Then I will also check up whether there are any exceptional expenses and exceptional incomes which have affected the profits. Then I will check up what is the standing of this company in its sector. That means with reference to its peers. So these are some of the major items which I check. And one of the most important items that I check is sales should be good, profit should be good, and of course other items I have covered. One of the major items that I want to check up is whether the company has a good expansion program. Expansion program takes care of the company's future. Where will you get it? You will sometimes get it along with the results. What is the progress of the expansion schemes, etc. Many of them publish in results. Or there may be an investor presentation, or there may be an annual report, the last annual report. So like that, I go on checking for expansion schemes. If expansion schemes are there, the company's future performance is assured. So I go on checking these things, and the same criteria apply for holding the company quarter after quarter. Now, when do we sell? Selling comes when a company performs very sluggishly in last 3 quarters. 3 quarters is the maximum limit I have said, but I will go on judging quarter after quarter. So if 3 quarters it is the sluggish, then the share automatically goes out of my portfolio. I will sell. No sentimental attachment to any script unless it is continuously performing well. See, we are all here to earn money, not to lose money on shares. Don't be sentimental about any particular company. Howsoever good, if it does not perform well in 3 quarters, examine it, and suppose you are very confident that it will perform well in the fourth quarter or third quarter. Okay, that's up to you. But you have to be certain about that. These are the criteria. This is the investment strategy. I do check up all these things. Please be assured that I check up all these things. Without checking all these things, I don't put my paisa in any company. So, a successful investor has to do all these things. Now, you also want to be rich. You also want to be a billionaire. I am not a billionaire. Of course, I am a crorepati. I am not a billionaire. But one day we want to be billionaires. Today, a crore is nothing. So, you want to be a billionaire. If you want to be a billionaire, choose your companies very well, and then you can sleep over them. Of course, every quarterly result you will have to be alert and see again and again for holding it. Thank you, my dear friends. I wish you all the best. I wish all of you should become billionaires. Travel with me. Let us progress. Okay? Thank you.